Hey everybody, Misty here with Vivian Farm Rabbitry. And as you can see, I'm in not the rabbit house. Miss Honey has just had her babies. She just had a litter, and I am staying out of there because a lot of noise and disruption actually stresses her out when she has a newborn set of babies. So, we are in here talking about today's subject. So without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody for watching my videos. Thank everybody who has commented on my videos. I really hope you enjoyed the rabbit photo shoot, the Christmas photo shoot, because that was hilarious and adorable. And I did actually get some good photos. I just thought it was hilarious to throw in the photos that did not come out, because honestly, some of them were the best photos. The ones that do not come out sometimes are the best. But we did get some good ones, and I will throw them up as we're talking. But Honey having her latest litter kind of brought up a situation that came up just recently. In one of my videos, my show video, I stated that we were going to be going to a show in December, and we did not make it to that show. And here's the reason why we didn't make it to that show, and basically the purpose of this video, which is rabbit depression versus rabbit illness. And can you really tell the difference? Because sometimes it's incredibly difficult. Rabbits will hide any illness to stop from appearing weak, because they're prey animals. Rabbits are at the bottom of the food chain. It's just the way it is. And if they appear sick or injured, then they are prone to be prey and picked up immediately and picked off immediately. So rabbits hide illness very, very well. And here's what happened. And this is why having her kits kind of brought this up to the forefront of my attention. Not only did we miss our show because this happened, but it led to a lot of, what if I do this? What if that's wrong? What? I don't know what to do. Anyway, Honey had her babies, her last litter, which was her third litter ever. And she finally managed to keep that litter alive. She has been learning, and her first litter did not do well. Her second litter did not do well. We ended up moving those kits over to a foster doe with our breeder, my mentor breeder, and they did fabulous. But this last litter, that third litter, were the first ones that she took care of herself. She actually did a fabulous job. Her hormones kicked in, her mama nature kicked in, and she did amazing, absolutely amazing. But here's the thing, is that this was a few days before we were supposed to go to the December show. A few days before, we had already bred her to a beautiful Sandy Continental, and we needed to get her current kits, who were about 9.5 weeks old, 9.5, almost 10 weeks old, out, because they were still in her pen with her. And mind you, when I say she became a great mom, I mean, she became a fabulous mom. She would snuggle up with those babies. She would love on them, just let them crawl all over her. And she just ate it up, every bit of it. When I moved the babies out, because there were two, we had two left. I moved them out into their own pens, and at first she was okay. And I think it took her a little bit to realize they weren't coming back. I think it was after that first night. That first night when they did not come back, I realized she didn't eat. She didn't drink. She was in her house and she wouldn't come out. And, you know, obviously that's a big tip off. Something's wrong. They're not eating, they're not drinking, especially when you have an animal that's a big eater, which Honey has always been a big eater. She's all about her food. As soon as the bowl goes down, she's in there and she's nosing through her food immediately. And the fact that I came in and no food was eaten, no water had been drank, was a huge tip off that something was really wrong. But I let it go. I thought maybe she'll just get past this. Cause I immediately thought, okay, this is right when we took the kits away. So maybe she just got upset because, as much as, we all want to say animals are animals cause we're farmers. Animals do have emotion. They do get upset and they do feel when things happen. And I've been reading up on it online on rabbit depression and things like that. And the symptoms very closely mimic illness, very closely. Like they'll hide, they'll stop eating, they'll stop drinking. They will sleep a lot. Excuse me. Things like that they will do when they're sick too. So, I really didn't know if it was coincidental. Maybe she got sick. Maybe she was upset. I didn't know. I really didn't know. So anyway, what I did is I checked her for mastitis. She was not happy about that. She fought me the whole way. Was not happy about that, but I did check her. She had no symptoms of mastitis. Anyway, she had no symptoms of mastitis. Nothing appeared to be wrong. She had no nasal discharge. Her ears looked great. Her eyes looked great. Nothing was wrong that I could tell, and nothing had happened. She had no injuries. Nothing had happened in that time between when I took the kits out and separated them out and when she started showing these symptoms. So, I let it go on. The next day, same thing, wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. And the next night, no food gone, no water gone. And then I started to worry. And, at that point, we're at Friday night. Yeah, we're at Friday night. Friday night was when I started to really become concerned. And, because anybody knows when you have animals that you're breeding and you have good stock, you don't want to lose them. You don't want to lose them at all. And you will do whatever it takes, whatever it takes, whatever you can possibly do, whatever you can pull out of your arsenal, you're going to do it. So anyway, I have since found out, and this is something if you have rabbits, and especially if you're new to it, you need to seek out a veterinarian that sees rabbits because a lot of them do not. And this is something I have found out, since this happened, is that all of my vets who have seen pigs and every other animal we've had do not see rabbits. And that was something I did not anticipate at all. I fully expected them to see a rabbit. None of them saw rabbits. Went through 3 vets. None of them saw rabbits. So get a rabbit vet, a vet that will see rabbits in your phone. Get them lined out, know who they are, have their numbers ready just in case. So anyway, got with my mentor breeder. Mind you, he went to the show. He was at the show that Saturday. And I messaged him and I said, hey, who is the vet that you go to? Because none of my vets take rabbits. And he said, well, what's going on? And so we went over everything that was going on. He said, well, have you tried to give her any banana, dandelions, things like that? And I said, well, no, I haven't, but let me go out there and see. So I took her out a little piece of banana in my hand, which this was also big tip off, what I'm fixing to say. Put the banana in my hand, tried to give it to her, and she would not eat it. Would not eat it, wouldn't even look at it. Just kind of sniffed it and turned away. So I said, well, shit. Okay, so she's more than likely sick. If she's not going to even eat a banana, she's more than likely sick. This is not a separation issue. This is a sick issue. So I dropped the banana in front of her house, which is where she was hiding. She was in her house. Dropped the banana in front of her house. As soon as I dropped it and shut the door to her pen, she stuck her face out and scooped that banana up. So at that point I said, okay, so it's me. It's me. This is not a food issue. She's protesting. She is staging a protest in her bunny way, the only way she can know how to do, which is not eating, excuse me, I can't talk tonight, not eating, and certainly not eating a treat out of my hand because I took her kits away. I took her babies away. So after that happened, I was like, okay, so I don't think she's actually sick. So did another test, ran out, grabbed a dandelion, stuck it to her face. She wanted to eat it. I could tell she wanted to eat it. She had that look like, Like, I want to eat it. Wouldn't eat it. Put it in her bowl, shut the door, came running out, snatched up that dandelion, ate it right up. So at this point, I knew more than likely it was behavioral, but I talked to my mentor breeder, and he actually stopped in the middle of the show, called me and said, if she hasn't eaten or really drank water in this many days, you have got to do something. He was like, give her a shot, give her a shot of antibiotics just in case. He was like, just in case, because she might be acting that way, but you don't know if something, like she's pushing past something to eat that dandelion and to eat that banana, and something really is wrong that you just can't tell. You can't tell at all. So, did that, went ahead and gave her a shot of antibiotic, less than 1 cc. It wasn't much, tiny bit. What I did is that day I took her kits, her little boys, and put them out with her to run around just on the floor. And once she saw them, it's almost like it clicked. Like once she saw them and saw that they were okay and they weren't just gone, she was fine after that. After that, she was perfectly fine. So, meaning she started eating and she started drinking again. It was slow at first. She certainly wasn't eating to the point where she had been before. And she wasn't drinking to the point that she had been before, but she got there. Within 24 to 36 hours, she was eating and drinking like normal. So, what this comes down to is, do rabbits have depression? 100% yes. I have to say yes. And do they protest against you? I would have to say yes. At least this one does. At least this one does. She decided I was the boogeyman and I took her babies away, and she wasn't going to take food from me. She wasn't going to eat anything, and she was going to let me know of her unhappiness. And would I give her the shot again? 100% yes, because the shots don't hurt them in the least, and it certainly isn't going to hurt anything. It's not going to hurt anything. She is okay. It's just going to be a little boost of antibiotic. It's not going to do anything because that's the first shot of antibiotics she's ever had in her life. So it's not going to do anything. And if she did have something that had been going on, like maybe a tooth was messed up that I just wasn't catching, maybe something else was going on that was causing her to not eat properly, it would have helped take care of that. So would I do that again? Yes. And I think it was great advice from my mentor breeder to give her the shot no matter what. Because she was fine after that. Now, do I know 100% that it wasn't just something that really was hurting her that the shot cured? Possibly. I don't know. I never saw any injuries. I never saw any sign of that. So I can't say yes or no, but like I said, I can say behavioral wise, I tend to think she was just mad. And, like I said, after she saw her boys and that they were still here and they were okay, she was fine. After that, she started eating, started drinking, and she was great. So, the reason I bring this up is because, that's something a lot of people really don't think about are, the behavioral issues that can come with animals and how they react to things going on around them, which it is discussed. If you look at some of the websites that talk about depression in rabbits and things like that, it is discussed like their environmental factors play a huge role in how they act and how they react to you and to everybody else. They're very social animals. They very much like that interaction. And I think she just bonded so much with her babies that when they were gone, I think it threw her for a loop. And it took her a while. It took her a while to get used to that. And we'll see with this next litter how she does, if she has the same issue. Once it's time to separate these guys from her, we'll see. But now I know to potentially expect it, and I know what I'm looking at, and I know what I'm looking for, and I can adjust my weaning to better suit her, and us. So I can schedule that out where maybe they're gone for a few hours here, maybe they're gone for a few hours there, and eventually they're gone overnight, but they're back during the day and things like that. So that she has a little more time to get used to them being gone before they're actually taken away and moved to another pen. So, what everybody who has rabbits, what are your experiences with this? Have you had that happen? Because like I said, we're new. I know my other animals. I know horses. I know my goats. I know my chickens. I know my pigs. I know all of them. And I know that they react to different stimulus in different ways, whether it be an animal leaving, an animal coming in, um, certain people coming in, certain people walking through. And I know it's a reaction to how they're treated, how they're thought about, because they do pick up on that. Like how you feel about them is how they react to you, and things of that nature. And I really didn't think rabbits did that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke up your butt and say, yeah, I figured they were like totally feeling and these animals that will show their emotion, because honestly, from all my experience, I hadn't really seen that at all. I'm not gonna lie. They're just kind of doing their thing. I mean, some are obviously more friendly than others. Some want your attention more than others. But as far as mourning the loss, so to speak, I hadn't seen that. And I think it's amazing, actually, because if you follow any of my other videos, you know that Honey has had major problems with her litters. And we almost didn't breed her again because she had so many problems with her litters. I didn't want to put her through it, and I didn't want to put me through it, because it's incredibly stressful to go through the things that we went through with her. And now she's this amazing mother who bonds very strongly to her kits. So as fabulous as that is, now we have, we just have to plan around that. We have to plan around how she reacts to her babies, and when they get old, or when they get too old to stay with mama. When they get too old to stay with mama, we're gonna have to plan around that and plan that out a little better than we did last time. But I just think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating how these animals act, how these animals react. Learning more about them all the time through all of these experiences. Hopefully we'll make it to another show here pretty soon. There's one coming up in January. Possibly we'll make that. We'll see what the weather's doing, because January here in Texas tends to be when we get January, February is when we tend to get the worst of our winter weather. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to drag these animals out if there's, ice on the road. I'm just not going to chance that, because, I know I'm in Texas. We don't drive in that. We don't drive in that. We're good with the heat. We're good with heat and beaches and things like that. You throw ice and snow at us and we don't know what to do. I mean, we know what to do. It's usually stay home. Let's be honest. We usually just stay home, because nobody's got time for that. Nobody's got time for that. So anyway, with that, I hope you guys have a fabulous day or night. And I thank you so much for tuning in and watching these videos. And please make a comment, hit that like and subscribe, and let me know your experiences with the rabbits, or any animal for that matter, in their behavior and how they react, and what you've had to do to change what you do to help your animal better tolerate the situation. So with that, I will say